In this video, we're going to do a hands-on and go over a variety of different highlights regarding the Motorola Moto G Fast. So this device features a very large 6.4-inch display. Now the display itself is IPS LCD. It is 720p. We're getting a PPI of 268, a 19.5 by 9 aspect ratio. It's a little bit more of a narrow but tall form factor here with the phone. And finally, we're getting an 82% screen to body ratio. So while we do have a little bit of a thicker bezel on the bottom, all the other bezels are very small. Now you probably noticed as well that with this phone, we are getting a hole punch for the front-facing camera. Now in that hole punch, we have an 8 megapixel front-facing camera, giving you the ability to take clear selfie photos. Now internally with the phone, we're getting 32 gigabytes of storage, and you do have the ability to expand that with a micro SD card. Now this device features a fingerprint sensor on the back. Let's give that a try. And that's a very fast fingerprint sensor. So very cool that we are getting a fingerprint sensor on the back side of the phone. Now also on the back, we have a variety of different cameras. So we have a triple camera setup. So there's a 16 megapixel main camera, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and a 2 megapixel macro camera for close-up images. Now, I'm personally a big fan of the ultra wide angle camera because it gives you the ability to take different types of photos where you can fit a lot more content into the frame, and that's really my favorite thing about it. So here's how things look with the main camera. Now I'll switch over to the ultra wide. You can see I can fit a lot more content into the frame here. Now this mostly comes in handy in my opinion using the ultra wide camera when you're on vacation, maybe going on trips of some sort, because you can really fit a lot more content into the frame, and also just gives you a new way to take photos that kind of switches things up a bit. Now this device, as I mentioned before, does have a macro camera. Now you can access the macro camera through the extra photo modes button here, and then you can see there it is right there. And then now we can get really close with that macro camera for macro photography. Now with this device, we do get portrait mode with both the rear and front camera. So if you're a big fan of portrait mode, then you're definitely going to appreciate that. So here's me through the front facing camera. And then you can see here's how things are through the rear camera. Now this device features 3 gigabytes of RAM and the Qualcomm Snapdragon 665 processor. Now with the phone, we're getting 4K video recording with the rear and 1080p with the front. We're getting a large 4000 milliamp hour internal battery, and we're getting Android 10 as the software. So very nice, well optimized software here with the phone, and I'm definitely a big fan of that. So let's do a hardware tour of the device. Now you can see on the left side of the phone, we have the slot for the micro SD card and SIM card. Then on the right, we have the power button and volume button. I really like this chrome accent too around the device, by the way. Now, besides the display, the whole phone is made out of plastic. Even this material on the back is kind of like a glossy plastic finish. But despite all of that, the phone still does feel premium. It feels very solid. So I definitely appreciate that as well. Now, taking a look at the top of the phone, we do have the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and we have the noise canceling microphone. Then on the bottom of the phone, we have the microphone, USB-C port for charging and data transfer, and we have the speaker. Another thing about this phone that I really like is that with the speaker, we can actually get audio that comes out of both the earpiece and the speaker itself, giving you a more immersive audio listening experience. And then taking a look at the rear of the device, I already talked about the camera module, but we do have the camera, we have the flash, we have the fingerprint sensor, and that's about it. So pretty minimalist design here on the back of the phone, but in general, I do think it looks really nice. Now let's take a look and see what all we do get in the box. Here is the actual box of the device. We'll open up the lid here. We're getting some literature here. We're also getting a SIM card removal tool. We have a USB wall adapter, and we have a USB-C cable for charging and data transfer. So pretty awesome that we are getting everything that we need here included in the box. So this is my hands-on of the Moto G Fast. Certainly a very exciting device here from Motorola, and something that I think will appeal to a lot of people.